Pushing over to the receiver position. So this one's a tough one. So this one's going to be really heavy on the transfer portal. Andrew Armstrong, Isaac Tesla, Isaiah Satania, Lucas. You can see those guys in the key losses section. All of those guys are NFL caliber players for the most part. Two of them are on NFL rosters right now. Tesla was a third round pick to the Detroit Lions. And this is going to be a tough room. So I think of this room, if you remember 2 years ago, not last year, but the year before, Armstrong, Tesla, these guys came in from like the FCS and Division two level, and we didn't know a lot about them. And that first year, it wasn't super productive, but the second year it really was. So this year, I'm going to anticipate more like that first year. We bring in a lot of group of five, like non-power four conference guys. You can see Omega Blake, who I think could be our leading receiver this year, was a second team All American Athletic Conference player out of Charlotte. Raylan Sharp and Cam Shanks, two smaller receivers, going to play the slot out of Fresno State and UAB, respectively. And Cam Shanks will add to the return game as well. But these two receivers are going to be really helpful in the slot. And then I mean, there's only four guys I really could mention here for notable additions, but there's so many more that are going to be on this team as well at the receiver position. Talk about Courtney Crutchfield, a guy who played receiver for Missouri, really didn't play too much, but was originally committed to Arkansas, four-star recruit, decommitted, went to Missouri, didn't do anything there. He's now come back to Arkansas. So we'll see if he's contributed. It seems like he's been a little slower throughout the offseason, but we'll see what he can do this year. Jalen Brown, a receiver out of Florida State, is a guy that is going to be in this receiving room as well. So a lot of receivers coming in, a lot of receivers going out. But ultimately, I give this grade a C minus. And really, I could give it even a little bit lower, but I think the tight end Rohan Jones from Montana State, you can see first team All Big Sky. I think he's going to be a real big addition here. I don't think he'll replicate the success of a guy like Luke has, who's switching to Ole Miss now, but I think he can be really helpful for us. And then you can see in the returning players section, four guys that really just didn't do a whole lot. Nobody had more than 5 catches or 100 receiving yards. So it's going to be a lot of transfer portal players this year, and we saw that 2 years ago. Like I said, when Armstrong and Tesla and Tyrone Broden, a lot of those guys came in, and I expect much of the same this year. I think at that time too, we had a pretty productive quarterback, kind of like we do now with Taylor Green. So if the offensive line can hold up, give Green time, I think these receivers can really do well. Their strength is downfield. They're a lot of smaller guys. You can see the weights on a lot of these guys. A lot of them are